By Wenberg, hops into the air, glove down by Oshie, and the Capitals can now come back out as we approach a minute to go. There goes Lindgren for the extra attacker. Here comes Oshie between the circles, loses the puck. Trouba's going to drag it back behind the net. The net is empty to our right with under a minute to play. Here comes Roslovic at the right wing. Roslovic stops, fires, scores into the empty net. The dagger! And the Rangers take a 4-2 lead with 51 seconds to go.
Well, Jack Roslovic does a wonderful job of teeing up the two defenders here. He's patient enough not to get rid of it right away and drills it into the empty net. As the Rangers were so tentative going back to get the puck on the power play, that allowed the penalty killers way too much time in the defensive zone. But the Rangers find a way here in the third period, the tie hockey game. So that'll be a power play goal, right?
Yes, it will. The third for the Rangers. So they will go 3 for 4 on the power play. 51 seconds even to go. The Final Five brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. Visit them at titosvodka.com. Lindgren is at the hash marks.
I'm sorry, Don. It should be an assist to Trouba, too, right? I think Trouba made the first pass up ice. They don't have the assist posted
Lafreniere
yet.
and Trouba with the assist. So the faceoff's at center ice. Lindgren's at the hash marks, but the Rangers win the faceoff. Trouba up the near boards. Backhanded down by BC into the far corner. Carlson drags it back behind the goal line. Up the far wall. Here comes LaPierre. There goes Lindgren for the extra attacker. LaPierre up the middle. Played back out to the far boards. Wilson's shot gets deflected out of play with 34.5 to go.
Well, this will be a defensive zone face-off here. The Rangers at 48% efficient. Again, they will be allowed to change to get two center icemen out here. It looks like Wenberg BC and Cooley, so they do not bring out a second center iceman. Oh, yeah, they do. There's Goudreau.
Strome with the offensive faceoff, wins it clean, goes back out to the point. Carlson slings a shot deflected away. Goes back out to Carlson. He fires a shot, deflects over Trouba. Rebound knocked down by Oshie. He couldn't get it through. Rangers clear. It's going to trickle down. Will it go far enough for icing? It will with 20.1 to go. The faceoff will come back down to Shesterkin, but with a 2-goal lead, time running out for the Capitals.
Well, I'll tell you, there was an empty net available here. Another guy you should talk about, really. Now I've talked about Faveri, I've talked about Alexiev, John Carlson.
Yeah.
Carlson has he's been on the ice.
Wins the face-off again, does Strome. LaPierre climbs up to the blue line. Carlson can't keep it in, goes back out to center with 10. Play to the near wing. LaPierre will catch up with it, backhanded by Ovechkin into the glove of Igor Shesterkin, who fires it into the far boards. 2-1. One more save by Shesterkin. Bring out the brooms. Rangers sweep the series 4-0, and they're off to the second round.
Well, again, the Caps, with their most spirited effort of the 4 games that the Rangers won, just weren't good enough to beat a Ranger team that was deeper and really managed the down parts of the game to minimize the impact when things are running against them. And I think that's, again, indicative of how they played all season. You know, you just got the sense, I got the sense once they got through that second period, that tied, that okay, I'm sure the locker room was very well aware of the situation they're in, very well aware of the fact they've been in that situation, and score a couple power play goals in the third period, and it's a 4-2 Ranger win. So it's on to the next round. Opponent to be determined as the Rangers do what they need to do in the minimal amount of time at a time of the season or the year where rest is a premium.
Vincent Trocheck leads the line of handshakes for the New York Rangers, and it's fitting because he probably was one of, if not the best players in this series.
Yeah, I think he and Shesterkin are the two guys that you'd say if there's an MVP of the series. From a Ranger standpoint, you'd be pretty hard-pressed not to think of those two guys. I thought Jake Trouba played as good a hockey as he played down the stretch, probably better down the stretch. And it was just really a solid Ranger event here as the Rangers. Kapokako is another guy that will get himself on the board in the series. So the Rangers got goals from multiple fronts. But at the end of the day, the special teams were a big factor in this series.
Rangers sweep a series for the first time since 2007 when they took down the Atlanta Thrashers. And going back to that game 4, which was at the Garden, Dave, it was a 2-2 tie going into the third. And goals by Matt Cullen and Jaromir Jagr finished off the Thrashers. 17 years later, the Rangers get goals by Panarin and Roslovic to bring out the brooms and move on to take on the winner of Carolina and the Islanders. They will play their Game 5, Dave, in Carolina on Tuesday.
Right.
So no matter what happens in that game, the Rangers will have a little bit more rest than Carolina if they do finish off the Islanders. And that'll be the next opponent, the winner of that series, time to be determined. But after a disappointing first round last year in which the Rangers blew a 2-0 series lead against New Jersey, they made sure they took care of business against a game Washington Capitals team. But Dave, it was clear, as hard as the Capitals played, especially in games 2 and 4 of this series, that the Rangers were the much better team, and they showed it in the 4-game sweep.
Yeah, really. I thought this was their most complete game from start to finish. And, you know, an offensive zone high stick by TJ Oshie, and the Rangers made them pay severely, and then a trip in the middle of the ice by Sundin. So Sundin and Jensen, pivotal factors in the first and fourth goals of the Rangers, two defensemen who made their debut after coming off the injured list. So all in all, and I think from a Cap standpoint, you have to wonder where in the world did Alex Ovechkin go? He was no factor whatsoever.
Well, he looked a lot in this series like he did the first 43 games of the season when he had just 8 goals. He did have 4 shots on goal in Game 3, Dave, but that was primarily because of the amount of power play time that the Caps had in Game 3.
But I do not remember, honestly, over the course of his career, how many of his shots got blocked. I'm telling you, I'll bet the Rangers blocked as many shots of his in this playoff series than they blocked in his whole career. He never got his shots blocked. In the meantime, the one thing I do have to say about Wilson is I have a big bottom line fan of him. Not anymore. I don't have respect for him for what he did to Panarin a couple of years ago and what he did to Fox. There's no call for that. There's a code amongst fighters, and there's a code coming to the top players in the league. The top players get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the nonsense, because if it was indeed true what people think happens in hockey with tough guys and those guys, that they go after the top players, they just don't. They don't. They do not. There was no call. There was absolutely no call for Wilson to do what he did to Fox. So for me personally, again, you listen to Peter Laviolette, talking to him, had him, respects him, future captain. I don't have any more respect for him for the back-to-back dishes that he did with 2 of the top players in the league. Rangers didn't score in the power play, but they ultimately got the win.
And they sweep them clean. Not exactly if you lose Cronkite, you lose the nation, but if you lose Maloney, it's tough to get up.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's crying over it. He's spilled milk, but no, it's just that just doesn't happen, you know. And again, Fox got it was a trip call. It could have easily been a knee on knee, and then just out of the blue he goes after him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, that's enough. The Rangers did a good job and deserve to go on. They showed every bit that kind of internal focus or strength that they've showed all year long by just staying with it and on to the next round.
It was a pleasure closing out this series with you, buddy.
Okay, good job, Donnie. Thank you.
You and Kenny will get things started at a date to be determined against a team to be determined in the second round. Rangers sweep the Washington Capitals by winning Game 4 by the final tally of 4-2. Thanks to Pat Malley here at the arena. Didn't have to do the Michael K. show today, so he got a bit of a break. But thanks to for Friday spending the day with me. And check your local listings. All the games will be here on 98.7 ESPN New York. It's just a matter of who and when in the second round. Dan Gross is going to take you through the rest of the way. Once again, our final score here from Washington in Game 4. Rangers 4 and the Capitals 2. The Rangers sweep the best-of-7 series 4-0. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
A 4-2 Ranger victory over the Capitals. They complete the 4-game sweep, and they're headed on to round number 2. Let's take a listen to the highlights as to how this one all unfolded. And as we told you, 2007, last time the Rangers were up 3-0 in a best-of-7 series, 6th time in franchise history, and they were seeing if they could seal the deal tonight down in the nation's capital. Last 2 games, remember, in this series, despite the fact the Rangers won them, Washington were the team that got on the scoreboard first. Not tonight, however, and it didn't take the Rangers very long to light the lamp.
Grabbed by Ovechkin to the near circle. He had 4 shots in Game 1, but his pass to the point deflects off the stick of Kakko and back out to center. Jensen loses the puck to Kakko, who scores! The Rangers take advantage of the turnover, and 57 seconds in, it's 1-0 Blue Shirt.
10th different goal scorer for the Rangers during this series, and Kakko, less than a minute, 57 seconds in, gives the Rangers the lead. His first postseason goal this year, the 4th of his career, unassisted. You heard Don say Nick Jensen just lost the puck, and Jensen in the lineup for the first time this series for Washington. Rangers the beneficiaries, and they get themselves a 1-0 lead. And the Rangers kept that 1-0 lead for much of that opening period. However, with a little over 5 minutes to play in period number 1, well, the Rangers were a little sloppy in their own end, and it cost them.
Protas, pass over to Wilson, spins it around the boards, waiting for it is VC. Can't get it around Strome, who takes it away, centers to Protas. Protas leaves it back for Ferraveri, who scores. Ferraveri in the near circle ties the game at 1.
Yeah, Rangers couldn't clear the zone. Jimmy Vesey lost the puck. Capitals take advantage. Martin Ferraveri is second of the playoffs at 14:54 from Alexei Protas and Dylan Strome. So we had ourselves a 1-1 hockey game. Then before the period would expire, though, Nick Jensen, there's that name again, gets called for tripping Adam Fox at 18:51, and a little bit of concern initially because Fox was on the ice writhing in pain. You didn't know how seriously hurt he was, but was able to get up and with the assistance of the trainer get off the ice and wanted to sit on the bench to be able to get back into this hockey game. So the Rangers playing with the man advantage. Special teams already a big factor in this series, and the Rangers reminded the Capitals just why.
As Panarin for Zibanejad, back out to the far wing. Sent by to Fox. Fox straight away finds Trocheck, back to Fox. Fox finds Panarin. Zibanejad over to Trocheck, who scores on the power play with 14.7 to go.
Trocheck's third of the playoffs at 19:45 from Zibanejad and Panarin. Vinny's got a 4-game point streak now, 3rd straight game with a goal. 4-game point streak for Mika Zibanejad as well, and Artemi Panarin picks up point 122 of the season, tying him with Vic Hadfield for the second most points in a single season in franchise history, regular season and playoffs combined. And an odd setting then erupts because during the Rangers' goal celebration, Tom Wilson of the Capitals decides to take a run at Adam Fox for reasons unknown to anyone but Tom Wilson. Anyways, he gets called for roughing at 19:44, so the Rangers go to the second period with carryover power play time, and they're also nursing a 2-1 lead. So the Rangers begin that second period with the power play. However, Washington gets themselves a very good shorthanded chance to even the score, but Igor Shesterkin made sure that didn't happen.
13 seconds to go on the power play. Back to Roslovic, shot by Panarin's knocked down in front by Jensen, and out the Capitals go. Malenstein with a shorthanded opportunity with a move on a backhand. Toe save by Shesterkin, and the Rangers can clear it.
Nice stop by Igor, keeping it 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. Little close to the midway point of that second period, Washington would finally break through. Now, the Capitals were really getting the better of the play in that middle frame, and they had a goal to show for it.
Well, the Rangers calm it down with Kreider. Still can't get it around McElrath. Second whack, able to get it back out to center. Roslovic collides with Alexiev, and that opens up for LaPierre, who will skate it back into the zone. A wall of Rangers makes a move on his backhand shot save. Rebound, he scores. Great play by LaPierre, and we're tied at 2.
Yeah, great individual effort. He puts home his own rebound for his first career playoff goal. Hendrix LaPierre. That's a great hockey name. 7:48 into the second period. An assist there from Alexander Alexiev ties the score up at 2 apiece. So the Capitals, once again, for the second time in this hockey game, erase a 1-goal deficit and even up the score at 2 apiece. So about 13 minutes into the period, it was all Capitals. They had the first 9 of 10 shots in that second period, and the Rangers were almost fortunate to still be in a 2-2 tie. It could have been a lot worse for them on the scoreboard, and one of the large reasons they have to thank for that, well, the goaltender, Igor Shesterkin.
Taps it back over to Oshie, gloves it back down, races back behind the net with one hand in the near circle, leaves it back at the wing, and a shot by Fairbury is saved by Igor, and now the Rangers try to counter.
And the Rangers, again, were able to get out of that period further unscathed. 2-2 was our score. And the Rangers actually put together a nice little flurry at the end of that second period to close the gap on the shots on goal deficit, but did not have any additional goals to show for it on the scoreboard. So we were 2-2 heading into the third. First time we were tied in this series at the end of 40 minutes of play. So Washington hits the ice for the third period, quite possibly playing the final 20 minutes of their season. And TJ Oshie, one of the veterans on this team, a guy who's won a Stanley Cup championship, he got called for high sticking at 3:10 of that third period, giving the Rangers their third power play opportunity of the night. They had already scored once. Could they make it a second? Well, just ask the Breadman.
Panarin at right wing, drags it to the hash marks. Panarin leaves it back for Fox. Fox pass to the far wing, Zibanejad out to Panarin with a shot, he scores! Artemi Panarin on the power play, and the Rangers take a 3-2 lead.
Second goal of the playoffs for Artemi Panarin at 3:21 from Zibanejad and Fox. And Panarin, his 18th career playoff goal, point 123 of the season, now all by his lonesome, second most in a single season all time for the New York Rangers, trailing only Jaromir Jagr. Third time the Blue Shirts take a 1-goal lead in this hockey game, and Mika Zibanejad with that assist, his third consecutive multi-point game in a row. So 3-2 Rangers, but still a heck of a lot of time left in this hockey game. Rangers, for the most part, have been able to stay out of the penalty box tonight, unlike the 6 penalties that they took there in Friday's game number 3. But Barclay Goodrow called for hooking at 5:01, giving the Capitals their second power play opportunity. And once again, the Ranger PK does their job. They kill it off 2 for 2 on the night. Then with the Capitals buzzing, trying to see if they can get the equalizer, Rasmus Sundin is called for tripping at 17:18, which further complicates things for the home team, needing to pull their goaltender to get the extra attacker, plus they were going to be shorthanded. Would the Rangers be able to put this one away for good? Well, leave it to one of the Rangers' mid-season acquisitions to put the icing on the cake.
The net is empty to our right with under a minute to play. Here comes Roslovic at the right wing. Roslovic stops, fires, scores into the empty net. The dagger! And the Rangers take a 4-2 lead with 51 seconds to go.
It's an empty net goal. It's a power play goal for Jack Roslovic, his second of the series at 19:09, and Roslovic a point in all 4 games for the New York Rangers. Lafreniere and Trouba get the assists, and that is all she wrote. The Rangers complete the sweep. They double up the Capitals tonight, 4-2. Let us pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hit the post, but the backhand, that one was.